Hi, everyone. It's another Monday with Mary. And today I am addressing a question which can be a really tricky situation. Um, you know, there comes up this topic in conversation with people regarding the ability for a man and a woman to be friends, just friends, right? And that's something that I have had a lot of conversations about with strangers and clients and people that are close to me. And that's not ever really a clear cut and dry question. I personally believe that yes, sometimes a man and a woman can actually be very much close friends, and that's the way it stays, and that one person is not always wanting more, because that's something that we often hear, right? Is that sure, they can be great friends, but almost always one person wants something more, or one person wants to sleep with the other person. And I will say, in my personal opinion, in my observances and experiences, that is probably true the majority of the time. And I think that even sometimes, because once you establish a friendship, even if it didn't start out that way, if you establish this friendship and it does become close, then there gets to be this level of intimacy where all of a sudden one may find the other one attractive, right? So, or to the place of wanting more than to be just friends. And I think that is really common, but sometimes not. I know people, and I have had relationships myself where you know, we're just friends and I value them and I love them and I care about them, but um, to my knowledge, there's no interest in anything other than just maintaining that friendship. But back to today's question. So, what do you do? And this is really tricky. What do you do if the person who you have seen as just your friend for all these years, maybe, suddenly comes out to you and says, I have romantic feelings for you, or I've always had romantic feelings for you. Um, and you find yourself in a situation where you don't really reciprocate that feeling. You just have never grown to see them as more than a friend. And in fact, maybe you now see them as more of like a sibling, right? A brother or a sister. So how do you handle that? I think first and foremost, if you really truly care about this person and you value them, then you deal with this directly. You don't try and be passive aggressive. You don't try and ignore that they ever said this or that this ever came up. You don't try and distance yourself and, pull back and change routine behaviors and this dynamic that you have had and shared without explanation, without giving clarity, without actually speaking to what it is that you are dealing with at this time. So be direct. Don't run away. Don't be avoidant. Don't be passive aggressive. Be direct. Be honest. This goes without saying, but let me also include this. Don't think of yourself as being honest about your feelings when you are trying to soft pedal or break it to them easy or do it in a gentle manner. If that involves you sending some sort of mixed signal or not being really 100% clear. So, saying to this person who you value and love and care about, I think you are beautiful and amazing and smart, but I can't see us being in that kind of relationship. That sounds really lovely, and you may really mean that. But in this particular instance, sort of, I don't want to say sugarcoating because you really do mean those things, but leading with these positives and leading with things that you love about them and all these compliments before saying, but I don't see us as being more than friends, is sending a mixed signal. It can be very confusing, and for someone who in particular maybe has harbored feelings for a really long time, this leaves them feeling like that there's a door open, like that your mind can be changed, or maybe you too will grow to think of them as more than just a friend. So the important thing is to come straight to it and say, I don't see myself ever thinking of you in a romantic manner. And start with that. And then you can go on. But don't try and back into that. Once you start backing into that, then that is what causes confusion and sort of muddies the waters on what your real intention and where you really stand is. The last thing I can tell you about dealing with this situation is to not only be direct and honest, as we've just covered, but to then make a plan with this person. Be really clear about, I don't think that we can be friends. I don't think I can get past this, that you have this other deeper feelings for me. Or if that's not the case, and say, I understand that this may make you very uncomfortable now or make me very uncomfortable. So let's take a break and come back to each other in 2 or 3 weeks. But again, be really clear, be really specific, and be really direct about where you want this action to now go, that things have been presented and changed from a way that they had been and that you had enjoyed and were comfortable with. I hope that this helps you if you find yourself in this really awkward situation of having a dear, dear friend that now has romantic interest in you. If you need help with this situation or any situation, reach out to me at facebook.com/B+1. Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.